Mainit na balita.
Because of the recantation, na-acquit si De Lima. Ang problema, doon sa recantation, hindi naman dinetalye ng RTC yung recant na ginawa. Ano ba yung ni-recant that made you realize as a court na hindi siya convicted o hindi siya may kasalanan? So ngayon, sinasabi na null and void yung decision ng RTC. Masyadong magaan o weak yung ebidensya ng pag-recant. Gets ninyo? So hindi dapat maging dahilan yun para ma-acquit o palayain si De Lima. Ito pa. O, pag-usapan din natin itong dismissal ng yung kaso ni De Lima. Lupit itong kaso ni De Lima na ito. O, pakinggan natin ha.
And to give us reaction to this development, we have former Presidential Legal Counsel Attorney Sal Panelo joining us now via Zoom. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Attorney.
Magandang umaga, Gretchen.
Okay, first, I want to get your reaction to this decision by the Court of Appeals. You shared it on your Facebook account. No? This was dated April 30. Kailan niyo po nalaman?
I think a copy of the decision was given to me 3 days earlier.
Before it came out?
Before it came out. In fact, nagtataka nga ako bakit the mainstream media ignored it. Kaya ako mismo nagpadala sa mga sa mga media outlets. Sabay na pinost ko sa aking Facebook account.
Okay, 3 days earlier po than April 30?
Hindi po. Ang sinasabi niya dito, 3 days before lumabas sa media, lumabas na actually ito sa social media. Ang tagal pick upin ng mainstream media. Ewan ko ba kung bakit ayaw nilang pick upin to.
Hindi. 3 days earlier na 3 days earlier ngayon. So, ibig sabihin, today is 16. So, 3 days earlier. The other day lang.
How do you read this decision saying that the Muntinlupa RTC decision is null and void, that there was grave abuse of discretion? The camp of Attorney De Lima says this was just, a poorly written decision, and there is room to revise what the judge wrote.
You know, when that decision came out, acquitting the former senator in 2022, I think, 2022, I was one of the first to assail the decision as being gravely erroneous because the decision was based on the recantation of the testimony of the principal witness, Ragos. And I was saying that there is nothing in the record that shows that Ragos' first testimony pointing to the accused as having committed the crime was never proven to have been made under coercion. There was no proof that he was intimidated or there was a threat to kill him if he did not testify.
Kasi kaya na-acquit kuno si De Lima, it's because of the recantation. Okay? Dahil doon sa recant nung isang quote-unquote star witness before, di ba? Ang pinapaliwanag nga ng korte, yung CA, yung Court of Appeals. Kasi ganito yan RTC, CA, Supreme Court. Okay? Para malinaw. Inaral natin to Kasi may mga kaso tayo So sa RTC, sinabi, because of the recantation, na-acquit si De Lima. Ang problema, doon sa recantation, hindi naman dinetalye ng RTC yung recant na ginawa. Ano ba yung ni-recant that made you realize as a court na hindi siya convicted o hindi siya may kasalanan? Yun yung sinasabi ngayon ng CA yung mas mataas na korte. Sinasabihan niya, kasi ganun po sa Pilipinas eh. Sa Tagalog, ganitohin na lang natin ha. Etong CA, pag may ginawang hindi ka maayos, o sabihin na natin, merong kaduda-dudang ginawa itong RTC, yung nasa baba niya, sisitahin niya ngayon. Sandali, ano tong mga pinagsasabi mo dito? Ano tong ginagawa mo dito? Ano tong desisyon mo? Sandali, may problema yan. May power silang gawin yun. Tapos, pag natulunggis din sa CA, ang Supreme Court meron din sasabihin. Pwede rin sabihin ng Supreme Court, sandali, CA, bakit mo pinayagan ito? Kaya nga kahit papaano, alam mo yon, hindi ko sinasabing etong sa pangyayaring ito hindi ko sinasabing may kalokohan yung RTC. Pero sa mga generally speaking, pag may kalokohan ng RTC, mapupuna yan ng CA. Kaya ingat din sila dyan. So pag pinuna naman ng CA o kaya pinalusot din ni CA yung kalokohan ni RTC, pupunay naman sila ng Supreme Court. Bakit mo pinalusot to? Ayon sa batas ganito. Yan. So ngayon sinasabi na null and void yung decision ng RTC. Sinasabi doon, sandali, sinasabi mo dahil sa recant na walang hindi guilty si De Lima. O ipaliwanag mo ngayon kung ano yung recant na yun. Ano yung mga factors na nag-decide mo o nag-decide ka na sabihin mong hindi convicted o hindi may kasalanan o walang kasalanan si De Lima. Yun ang sinasabi ngayon ng korte. Okay? Ng CA. So, kaya nga ang mismong pagtitingnan nyo yung page, kasi nilabas ni Panelo ito Pag titingnan nyo yung page doon, sinabi mismo ni Panelo doon, yung nilabas ng document, ay yung null and void yung decision. Okay? Hindi yan, sinasabi kasi nung iba, parang uulitin yung trial, it's another trial, kaya ang tawag dyan double jeopardy. Hindi po. Null and void. Pag sinabi mong null and void, baliwala. Hindi. Mali yan. Hindi yan tama. Parang ginaganon mo yung korte. Parang ganyan ang usapan. O, tuloy natin to.
The way he did. And so I said, if that is only the basis of your decision, a recantation, then you are violating the rules on evidence. A recanted testimony has always been viewed as very weak in considering the evidence against or in favor of the accused.
So sinasabi ni Panelo dito, very weak daw yung dahilan, ibig sabihin weak as an evidence, yung dahilan na nirecant yung unang sinumpaang salaysay ng witness. Yun ang yung ika nga, yung timbang. Kasi remember, ang judge tinitimbang niyan based on evidence. Ang sinasabi ni ni Panelo, masyadong magaan o weak yung ebidensya ng pag-recant. Gets ninyo? So hindi dapat maging dahilan yun para ma-acquit o palayain si De Lima.
And moreover, I said, there are evidence in the record that shows the guilt of the accused apart from the testimony of Ragos.
Yun, malinaw yun. So, even without the testimony of Ragos, yung nagtestimony na laban kay De Lima na eventually bumawi. Okay? Sabi nga ni Panelo, even if wala yung testimony ni Ragos, the other evidence na nagsasabing guilty si De Lima ay malakas na. Hindi na kailangan dagdag na lang ika nga yung testimony nung Ragos. So, bakit, yun ang question doon, kung bakit nag-decide yung RTC based on the testimony o yung pag-recant ni Ragos. Hindi dapat. Yun ang sinasabi, according to Panelo, ng CA.
Kaya sinabi ko, I was even egging. I said, the government should appeal this because it is against the law and against the evidence. In other words, kaya tama yung ginawa ng Solicitor General Maynard Guevara when he filed a petition for certiorari Kasi there was an excess or lack of jurisdiction. Kaya sabi ng court, tama ang petition dahil yung mismong court ay violated the constitutional mandate. Kailangan kasi pag may decision ka, you have to explain exactly the facts of the case and then the evidence upon which your acquittal is based. Anyway, wala, hindi niya ginawa yun eh. Basta sinabi niya lang, since the testimony of Ragos was recanted, then there is no more basis for the guilt of the accused.
Well,
Doon nga medyo nalalabuan ako sa korte doon eh. Tama si Panelo doon eh. Parang walang kinaugnayan eh. Ba't di mo man lang pinaliwanag? Bakit hindi mo pinaliwanag na dahil sa pag-recant ni Ragos, hindi na guilty. May iba pang ebidensya na nagsasabi di umano na guilty si De Lima. Ang problema, hindi niya pinaliwanag doon sa kanyang desisyon. Yun ang sinasabi ni Panelo. At dahilan kung bakit sinabi nung mas mataas na korte, which is the CA, the Court of Appeals, sinasabi nila, sandali, mali ito null and void tong decision mo. Ipaliwanag mo ngayon kung bakit ganyan na naging decision mo. Mas mataas ang Court of Appeals kesa sa RTC.
Attorney, is it just a matter of rewriting that decision or could there be a retrial? We do know that there is
So sabi dito, kasi yan ang argument ng kabilang kampo eh. Ano lang naman yan, papaliwanag lang naman, isusulat lang paliwanag lang ng RTC. O baka naman another trial.
principle against double jeopardy in the Constitution that no person shall be twice put in jeopardy of punishment for the same offense. Ano pong ibig sabihin pag sinabing null and void yung decision ng Muntinlupa RTC? Binabawi ba yung acquittal na yon? At pwede bang itry ulit? Given nga po yung principle against double jeopardy.
Alam mo, para maging valid ang acquittal, kailangan one of the more important elements is may jurisdiction ang hukuman. But since the court has rendered a decision saying that there was a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excessive jurisdiction, di ibig sabihin, the element para ma-validate mo yung acquittal is missing. And therefore, it's null and void. Kung null and void, then there can be no double jeopardy. Now, as to your question, magkakaroon ba ng trial? Not necessarily. Ang sinasabi ng hukuman, kulang yung ebidensya that will show the guilt. Another thing, kulang din yung explanation mo kung bakit mo ina-absuelto. Wala kang pino-point out ng mga evidence that will lead to the acquittal. Not even the law, wala ka rin sinasabi. Kaya mangyayari yan, there will be a continuation of the trial. As I said earlier, ang pinakamahalaga kasi doon, Gretchen, you should prove na yung kalakaran na nagsinungaling ka ay hindi mo ginawang voluntaryo. Madalit sabi, kaya ka nagsinungaling kasi inakot ka. Merong mga circumstances that force you to lie. Kaya nung mag-recant ka na hindi totoo yan. Ang katotohanan yan, hindi naman niya tinanggap ang pera o hindi ko naman ginano. Kailangan prubahan mo muna yun. Otherwise, walang maniniwalang hukuman sa'yo. Kaya nga ako nagtaka na on the basis of that recanted testimony, bigla siyang inabsuelto. Kaya I remember in my show and other interviews on that very day na in-announce, binanatan ko na ng binanatan niya. Sabi ko, mali yan, dapat mag-appeal kayo niya.
Okay. With that said, what is the best scenario here? Is it the same judge that will be presiding over the hearings, or should this be raffled off to another judge, given that the ruling says that there was a grave abuse of discretion and over lack or excess of jurisdiction?
Well, the decision says it's remanded to the same court of origin. So the judge can proceed, or he can recuse himself, or there might be a motion from either parties to inhibit himself to proceed with the case. So depende yan. Kung magkaroon ng recusal, o kaya naman nag-voluntary na siyang umalis, inarako niya.
Okay, on the part of Rafael Ragos, you said that there is a lack of evidence that he was threatened. He claimed that former Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre III forced him to sign an affidavit accusing Senator De Lima and his former security Ronnie Dayan of involvement in illegal drugs. Ano po ang dapat ma-produce na ebidensya ni Rafael Ragos, no, to certify that he was threatened, intimidated?
Unang-una, sinasabi niya, tinapon siya. And yet, there is no proof of that. Wala siyang testimonya kung ano yung pananakot na ginawa. Pangalawa, you must remember na yung recantation happened almost 5 years after the testimony was made in court. And in the interregnum, in the interval, alam mo ang ginawa ng Ragos, katakot-takot na nagpahayag siya. Paulit-ulit niya sinasabi yung testimonya sa hukuman. Sa congressional hearing, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, twice or 3 times niya inulit yung mga testimonya niya. Moreover, yung sinasabi niyang natakot siya dahil Secretary of Justice, nawala na si Secretary Vitaliano.
Tindi niyan, ano? Kaya nga dapat talaga sa korte natin ang trial hindi sa public di ba? What do I mean? Hindi kasi minsan marami sa ating mga na pa-public trial lang Dito kasi kung talagang tinakot ka, kaya ka nag-recant ng iyong kaya mo sinabi yung mga yon dati, kailangan mong patunayan. Paano ka tinakot? You have to prove that. Hindi basta-basta pumayag ka lang na natakot ako kaya binago ko. Kasi sasabihin pa rin ng korte ngayon, baka naman kasi ngayon meron na naganap na hocus-pocus kaya ka nagbago ng testimony mo. Di ba? So you have to prove na talagang merong pananakot na ginawa sa'yo kaya ka nagsabi na guilty si De Lima. Di ba? Kaya mo sinasabi, kaya mo nilaglag si De Lima. Kailangan mo i-prove yun. Ang lupit po niyan. Kung katulad ka ni Atty. Claire, sasabihin sa'yo, sino nagsabi? Sino nagtanong? Ano na?
Aguirre at that time, ba't hindi siya lumabas? Kung totoo yung sinasabi niya. Kaya may problema talaga. May problema yung kanyang teorya na kaya siya nagsinungaling, inirit lang siya, tinakot siya, will not lie. Problem.
Okay, Attorney, we'll get more clarity on this from the other side of defense, from the defense of Attorney De Lima right after. Pero gusto ko lang po kayo tanungin, on another note, in another topic, what are your reactions to the results of the midterm elections and the showing of the Duterte?
So ayan na po mga kababayan. So yan po ang update. Ngayon, hindi ko naman po sinasabi sa inyo na agad-agad babawiin ba yung kanyang release. Kasi medyo ito Ang nangyari dito, pinalaya. Pero ngayon, parang sinasabi, yung decision na nagpapalaya kay De Lima ay null and void. So, will the court issue another warrant? Di ba? Ano ho kaya ang magiging Sa tingin, ewan ko sa tingin ko, sabi ko nga sa inyo ngayon na nagbabago na ang klima. Read between the lines, I cannot tell you directly Ngayon nagbabago na ang klima ng politika, magbabago na rin ang klima. Ang labo mo, Banatbay. Pero kung naintindihan nyo na. Kasi alam nyo mga kababayan, ganyan po ang nangyari. Nung una kasi, they play God. They play as if they rule the world. Of course. Pero, sabi nga, actually may nag-advise sa akin ito, antayin mo. After the election, the environment, the political environment in the Philippines will change. Why? Because makikita dito how powerful na yung the Duterte and how weak is the administration. Siyempre, sunod lahat dyan. Sunod sa ganyang klaseng klima ang lahat. Weather lang yan.